Best in podcast, the best in town. You wanna get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames, if you wanna go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
I'm Shannon Newth,
And we're No Damn Experts. Shannon, you have no clue what's going on. I told
do
you
not,
a little
which
bit
is
of
the
story.
opposite of normal.
Yeah, about this. But I have my good friend who's from Montana, who's had a life of experiences, and what he's going to say is his old age, but I don't think he's that old, probably because he's not that much younger than I am. So amazing guy that I'm looking forward to knowing more about.
Yeah.
A guy who I had his name on my notepad, ended up at a place where I was enjoying some adult beverages, said his name, and I'm like, oh my God, this is just meant to be.
I know who you are. She was so excited.
So with that, I'm going to welcome Ricky Lopez to our esteemed podcast.
Yay.
Ricky, Montana Ricky, thank you for being here.
Hi.
You waited a
going?
second. And I was like, oh no, she
gonna
threatened
go.
she'd make fun of you if you didn't start talking.
No. I'm trying to be as polite as possible because I'm so long-winded and I like the sound of my own voice.
Oh,
Well, you'll get a
It's
lot of
hard.
chance to hear it today.
Yeah.
Hey, we love story time. We had a guest on Monday that we just love because all he does is sit and tell stories, and we just have
We just
to sit
get to
here
sit back and listen. So that's what
there
we'll
you
do with
go.
you.
So not everybody will know who you are because our audience is pretty varied. So will you start at the beginning? Who you are, what you do, where you're from, all that fun stuff?
My name is Ricky Lopez. My moniker or my character name would be Montana Ricky. Obviously, when you live in Montana, it's kind of an oxymoron, but when you travel all around the United States, you tend to be that, oh, you're that annoying, obnoxious dude from Montana.
Well, I did notice you're wearing a hat that says so obnoxious on it. Okay.
It fits.
Is that just like a warning for people?
Yeah, just to give them an idea that I love the sound of my
But
voice.
you haven't been here for a while. You've had an illustrious BMX career that's taken you all over the world. So you're just recently back, right?
Well, I mean, you're using the key word,
Yeah.
back. I was living on the East Coast in New Jersey, and I broke my back. Crazy situation with the back is obviously when you break your back, you have to go through all the procedures. You have to find a doctor that you want to work on your back. And then on top of that, you got to get insurances that are going to cover you. And then you got to do PT, and then you got to do the MRIs, get the CAT scans, go through the whole thing. And my procedure was just absolutely crazy. So I had Native American insurance. And then on top of that, I was paying $1,000 a month for garbage insurance.
Wow.
Oof.
And so I went through 5 doctors. And if anybody's ever had serious surgery, I recommend when you go to a hospital or you go to an office, when the doctor walks in and he's 752 pounds and old, you got to look at it like experience isn't what's going to help you. It's based off of, I guess for mine as being a professional athlete, I look at it like I want somebody that takes care of their body to take care of my body. I don't want a guy that's looking to have retirement. Oh, I'm just going to go fishing because that's what's cool. So I'm just going to do back surgery, where it makes no sense to do that. So I went through 4 doctors, and the first doctor said, all right, you're going to have back surgery. Second one said, oh, no, we can do all this and you'll be fine. Third one said back surgery. Fourth one
That's not confusing at all.
was seriously like 900 pounds. And I was like, I can't have you working on my body if you don't take care of yourself. And then the fifth one was like, Jesus walked in the building.
Ooh.
The door opened, lights
lights
came
shone.
down. This
Angel
guy,
sang.
this guy was 6'2", chiseled jaw. As the kids would say, he was a Chad. He was a 10 on my book, and he just sat me down and said, "Hey, look, after looking at your charts and everything that you've been through, you're going to have to get back surgery, but I have to be very honest with you. You're either going to have to do the one minor surgery, or we do two, and I'll give you 20 years on your life. But then 20 years from now, you're going to have back surgery again." So he's like, "You make your choice." And I was like, "Well, look, I don't know how to do anything other than ride my bike and jump around." So I was like, "I am willing to do this." And he goes, "All right, so the worst part about you is I was born with a rare condition called Bertolli syndrome.
Okay.
It's when your S1 and L5 is fused to your pelvis."
Oh.
I've been in the hospital. I usually break 2 bones a year. So I'm in and out of the hospital always.
From a bike or just
Yeah,
like
just
walking
from riding
down
a
the
bike.
street?
Just from riding a bike.
Okay.
So I know what comes at the territory. It's like a bull rider. A
Yeah.
bull rider knows he's going
They're
to
gonna
break.
get crunched.
Yes. So I've never been fearful of anything because I know it's going to happen. What scares me is the unknown. So I do a lot of homework. Bertolli syndrome, I think 0.007% of the people in the world have it. And if you're misdiagnosed from birth, because normally they catch it at birth, if not, what tends to happen is you have your S1, L4, or L5, L4. Your L4 will dissipate. So it'll just explode.
Jeez.
So what ended up happening is I ended up getting a job, then getting sponsored. And when you get sponsored, you work on your first edit to introduce yourself to the company.
Okay.
So we went to this famous spot in Passaic, New Jersey, and we went to this specific handrail. So regular handrail you guys walk on. Well, every pro in the world's done something there, and so I was like, all right, what can I do to put my name in there?
Yeah.
Well, there was this big, huge, tall, 1-story statue thing that was there that had a slant on it, and I was like, has anyone dropped in on this? Meaning, got up top there, rode their bike, and like everyone's like, "What the hell are you talking about? What do you?" And then they look up and they go, "You want to do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I want to do." So if you take a look here, that's the picture
Oh yeah.
of me on top of it, and it took 3 people to get me up top there. So there was no room for my bike.
When you say it took 3 people to get you up there, what did that entail?
That entailed taking a rope and then pulling.
Pulley system you up?
Pulley
You
system.
physically or you and the
Yeah.
bike?
Oh my gosh. So he's showing us a video right now
Yeah.
of what this looked like.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
Oh, and then you fell. Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh,
when
Well,
you
just the
watch
first
when
time.
you
Yeah.
watch the video, no, that's just once. So when you watch the video and that doesn't look like what you're expecting
yeah.
oh, you know what I mean? But that Bertolli syndrome with that made my L4 so rare that it exploded on that impact.
Oh.
And so I went 2 years with my back constantly going out and not realizing I had no L4.
Yeah.
So
it would just
my
disintegrate it.
L3 on my L5 was just rubbing. So
Ooh.
my legs would go out all the time. And I
Yeah.
went 2 years. And then, it took.
Did you feel it explode, or was it just like, ow, I hit my hip hard?
It felt like have you ever broke your tailbone?
Thankfully
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Okay,
Really?
so that really, really sharp pain and it just sits there and you can't move or do anything?
Yep.
That's what it felt like. So I was like, I
Okay.
just bruised my tailbone.
Yeah.
But I've also ruptured my rectum.
Oh,
so
gosh. Yeah,
rupturing
there's
your
a lot.
rectum feels kind of the same way.
None of that sounds like a great
And obviously
situation.
rupturing my rectum happened from riding my BMX bike.
Okay.
So going back,
Yeah.
so I'm full circling on here. I get
The beginning. Oh no.
Yeah. So we go back. I get the sexy doctor. We
Yeah.
go through the whole procedure. They end up finding 6 polyps
Oh.
in my rectum.
Yeah.
So I have to go to
Jeez.
a cancer center.
Yeah.
And then for 6 weeks, every week, they're doing the rubber band.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also sitting with people that have cancer.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have cancer.
Yeah.
So for 6 weeks, I had to go through that.
Yeah.
And the doctor wasn't nice to me. I wish he would have sang to me, but he didn't sing.
What do you mean he wasn't? No, what
Did
do you
you
mean he
ask
wasn't
him to
nice
sing?
to you?
Yeah, I did when he was there, because what ends up happening is they take this cylinder thing, they go
Yeah.
inside there, and they have to open you,
Oof,
and then
yeah.
they stick an instrument in
So they can
that
snip,
rubber
snip it.
bends. It rubber bands around
Yeah.
the polyps, and then if you don't hold it, you spit it back out, and you have to redo it.
Ugh,
And
jeez.
so after having a ruptured rectum,
yeah.
I don't have the normalcy that everybody else has.
Sure.
I don't have, it's anyway.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I was like, it was like the 12th time on the first one. I was like, dude, can you just sing to me? I'm so nervous, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
grab my shoulders and say, you'll be
Right,
okay.
Yeah.
And the
Something.
lady was laughing so hard. She's
Braid
like,
my
I've
hair.
never heard anyone say this.
Some
And I'm
type
like,
of like empathy, compassion.
yeah, there was
here.
nothing. And I go through that, and then they found a cyst on my bladder. So then I
Jeez.
have to go to another specialist, and I have to get a cystoscopy. Do you guys know what a cystoscopy is?
I'm assuming a removal of a cyst.
No. So a cystoscopy is when they take a camera that's as big as your pinky,
Yeah, gotta
and
go
they
up
have to
there.
stick it in your urethra.
Yeah, yeah.
But they
Ooh.
have to slit the top part of it.
Oh, jeez.
And I just remember the doctor being like, this isn't the worst part. I go, well, what's the worst
What?
part?
Right.
Yeah. So as a male, when you're in
Yeah.
cold weather, things tend to,
Uh-huh.
shrinkage, right? This one was just the worst time of my life because I have two very beautiful ladies that are assisting while the doctor's trying to serenade me with this camera. He crams it all the way in there, and he goes, all right, here's the worst part, Ricky. He goes, well, the best part is what I see is
Why were
benign
you
and you're
awake
fine.
for this?
Because I'm a man. Okay?
No.
I don't like drugs.
Yeah, no, that's
So
fair. That's fair.
I'm
Yeah.
I don't care if people do drugs. I've been around everybody that does drugs.
Just
Grew
not
up
your
around
thing.
drugs.
Yeah.
Was born on drugs.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with it, but for me, the side effects suck.
Yeah. Yep.
So he goes, all right, count of 3. Here's the worst part. And I go,
Oh.
what's the worst part?
Coming out.
Yank. It's not a pull. It's not a slow.
Yeah,
it's a
it's a
yank. So he
Why?
goes 1, and then he goes, all right, now the next part. And I go, well, what's the next part? He goes, all right, so we're going to put pressure. We have to wait for a blood clot. Then I need you to go to the bathroom, and you're going to have a fart noise that's going to come out of your private part. And I need you to tell me that what comes out is a clot. And I'm telling you. So anyway, I do the clot. I go through all that part. I come back to the back doctor, and the back doctor goes, all right, here's what we're going to do. I can't do the Bertolli syndrome. He goes, there's just no sense. So what I'm going to do is scrape around it, because in your hip.
That's not a word you want to use with
so
your back.
let me show you what my back looks like.
Scraping.
At any point, Ricky, do you go, this is why I don't go to doctors?
Look, so
It just starts snowballing.
so obviously this
Oh.
video of what my back looks like has
Okay.
3.9 million views.
Yeah, so this is on your Instagram, right?
So you guys
Montana
can go
Ricky
on
Instagram. You
so
can go look at
this
this.
is a regular back.
Okay.
See this? This is your L5. See this? This is mine.
Oh, yeah, it's
Okay.
all fused
So
right there. Yeah.
here is where the tendons and everything get stuck, and
Mm.
that's what seizes you up. So he goes, look, I'm going to go in there. We're going to cut all that open, and then we're going to put a cadaver bone.
Ooh,
So
fun.
I got that new plastic piece, and then the way that they do the new surgery is amazing. So back surgery used to be 3 years before you were fully like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Now, literally in 6 months, you're like,
Whoa.
so they do the new thing. So it's called an A-lift.
Oh,
They come through your stomach.
He's pulled up his shirt now. Everyone, you're missing this.
So what they do is they cut your stomach,
oh,
pull your guts out. You have two
Oh my
people that do it.
gosh.
You have the doctor for the back, and then you have a guy that has
a
to
gut
assist
doctor.
for the gut.
Oh.
So they pull your guts out and do that. He goes, look, I'm going to do, we're going to put a cadaver bone in. And I said, well, can you at least give me somebody that's special?
Yeah.
Right.
Not just some old crusty
yeah,
dude.
right. Like a younger bone,
Yeah, yeah.
please. Yeah.
So
Someone famous, maybe?
Yeah.
they do, I'll show you what they put in
Why
you.
don't they just go in from the back
If
where
they-
there's
if
not
they do the
much
back,
to
it-
go through?
No, if they do the back, it's invasive, and it takes 3 years before
That's
it fully.
not invasive.
No, it's because they have to put a rod in your back.
Oh,
So all
Okay.
these people that are misinformed, and this is where
I just never, when you think about like, oh, I'm going to have back surgery, my scar, I would not think about it being
On
on
the
your
front.
tummy.
right,
Yeah.
everybody has this fear. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to get back surgery. My life's over. No, it's not.
Yeah.
it's the greatest thing that you can do if you do the right research. So
and get the right guy.
I did 200 sessions of PT
Oof.
before back surgery to strengthen my core.
Yeah.
So it's about what you want. So now I'm going to show them what they stuck in my back.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
So you see that? So that plastic piece comes in there, it dissolves, and then inside is the bone.
The plastic dissolves?
It's like kind of a thing that they put in there, and then they put 3 screws to hold it. Those screws take a year before it fully goes.
Huh.
So the doctor's sitting there. He goes, all right, Ricky, here's the deal. I'm going to let you ride your bike one more time before we do back surgery. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. So I call up my buddy and I go, hey, I want to go film something because it's the last time I could ride my bike for a while. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, what do you want to do? So it's funny. Maybe we can figure out some way to put photos on Facebook or something.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to go do was this rail hop. Okay, so you guys picture how a platform or like when you're walking up a handicap ramp and then the rail goes up and then it turns here. I want to hop over the rail.
Okay.
And then I want to land to a manual. A manual means you land on your back wheel and you go in a circle.
Okay.
Then I'd 180 and then half cab back over the handrail and come this way.
Okay.
So anyway, that was the trick I was going to do. That didn't happen. Here's what happened. We go there. We go there. Mind you, this is the only time that I can ride. We go there and I'm like, look, this is what I want to do. I need 2 angles of it. Let's get it. So the first thing I do is I puss out. So I puss foot. Puss foot means you're just really afraid.
Yeah. Sure.
Right? So I'm in the air, I don't know, probably like 6 feet. And I throw the bike. And when I threw the bike, I landed up against the wall. And when I fell against the wall, my leg got stuck. I fell backwards and you just heard...
Ricky! No.
And I snapped my fibula in half.
Oh, no.
So my leg was completely 180 and it snapped. And the filmer's like, oh, shit, dude, what do we do? I said, all right, here's the deal. I'm going to take my sock off and maybe I can snap it back forward because it's all the way 180.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? So I was like, all right, maybe I can snap it back. But what I need you to do is here's my car keys. And I'm totally chill because
sounds like
what ends up happening is you have so much adrenaline.
Yeah, you don't
have
even
to
notice.
You have to take. Well, no, you do notice, but when you've broken so much, you take advantage of it. So that's like my drug.
I guess this
the
was not the
idea-
first time you have
No.
broken something.
I've snapped my legs 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
So I snapped it. It's all the way 180. He's looking at me. He's freaking out. I'm like, look, dude, calm down. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna take my car keys. You're gonna go get my car. You're gonna drive back. You're going to somehow help me get up. We're going to get in the car. We're going to go to the hospital. And then I'm going to talk to the doctor and we'll be out in 20 minutes. He goes, hell no. I go, I'm so good at this. I can tell you right now, I snapped. I think fibula is the small bone, or is it tibula? Tibula is the big and fib is the small.
I think tib.
I would not know.
Okay, tib is the big one. So
believe
I
so.
snapped the small one. I was like, I snapped the small one. I know it because I'm a man. Anyway, so we go to the doctor. I'm in there limping. And then the doctor's like, what happened? I was like, I swear I snapped my fibula. And he goes, well, how can you tell? I go, it only crunched once. So when you snap both, it goes. Instead, this one just went. And then my leg was 180. So we come in there. The nurse is like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, just get the dude in here, have him twist my leg back. And then let's go do let's take the, what do you call the thing when they, x-ray?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, we're going to do an x-ray. And he's just going to tell me all it is a fib. Yeah, fibula.
Fibula
And
is
then-
the
yeah,
smaller one.
Yeah, it is fib, right? So
Yeah,
we
I
go
checked.
in there. Doctor's like, what do you think it is? I go, there's no muscle torn. There's no tendons. I swear it's just a fib. And then he's like, well, if you're right, I shouldn't have a job. He's like, well, what do you want to do about your leg? I was like, just snap it back and it should just be fine. So he goes, are you ready? 1, and they do that right over. My leg goes back straight. We go do that. I start laughing and the doctor looks at me and this is stupid. We go back to the office. He goes, yeah, this guy's right. He just snapped his fibula.
Yeah.
So I'm in there. He's like, you need to go to an orthopedic. I was like, no, I don't. I was like, it's just going to grow back. Plus, I have back surgery in a couple days. And then he goes, wait, hold on. You got a back surgery in 2 days? I was like, yeah, I got back surgery in 2 days. And guess what I have tomorrow? He goes, what? I go, an epidural. So I have to go see my doctor for an epidural the next day, right? Now, you guys have kids?
No.
No.
No kids.
No
okay.
kids. No epidurals for
Congratulations.
either
You
one of
guys
us.
are part of this
Thank you.
world.
Thank you.
We're
Yes.
feminists together, all 3 of us.
That's right.
Anyway, so I have to go get an epidural. So when you go get an epidural, the needle's like, I don't know, a foot long.
I've heard it's insane.
Right. It goes
Yeah.
into your back. The only
Yeah.
scary part of this is when you're sitting in the waiting room, if everybody inside there hasn't had it, all they do is look it up and think they're going to go paralyzed. Forget the paralyzed. It's not going to happen. It's so rare. It could happen. But the worst part that could happen is you twitch.
Oh, well, how would you not twitch?
Don't look.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Gotta
how
have
would I look?
ice in your veins.
yeah. So we're in there. Everyone's waiting. The first guy goes in there. Everyone's on pins and needles. Dude comes back. He's like, it was nothing. Everyone's like,
Of course.
right?
he said
Everyone's
that.
like,
Yeah.
oh, this is nothing. So anyway, I have a foot thing on because I have a snap leg. I come hobbling in, and my doctor takes one look at me and goes, you dumb son of a bitch. He says, I said you could ride a bike once. What did you do? I said, I'm a man. I said, I
Ride
told
my
you.
bike.
Well, this is what I honestly said. I said, I told you I break 2 bones a year, and the year's almost over. So I have to snap
Getting
one.
this one
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, well, I guess take your dumb hobbled leg and let's get up here. So we go up, we do the epidural. I start laughing, and he's like, well, what are you laughing about? And I go, dude, I don't know how to describe an epidural to anybody other than the fact that it's a 12-inch long needle. And the feeling for me was like somebody poured water in my butt cheeks.
Oh.
Oh,
That's what it felt like. And
weird. Yeah.
a lot of people that have back pain and everything, like you got to go through the procedure. Got to do the MRI. Got to get a CAT scan. Go see specialists. You don't go see one person and Mr. Jimbo Jim Beans tells you one thing. No. You need to take that next step, and you need to go places. So in Great Falls, Montana, we have great doctors. We have a great place to get things done, but you can't just stop there. You got to go to the hospital of special surgery. You got to go to all these other places to get the actual care that you need.
Yeah.
But the thing that I love the most about Great Falls, whenever I had issues with breaking legs and arms and stuff, was they were willing to see you all the way through the end. Where when you do it in New York City and New Jersey,
it's like
it's
a
like
one-stop thing.
it's
Yeah.
a meat market. But I'm very happy that I did that. So anyway,
How long ago was this?
exactly a year ago.
Okay. What led to what? Let's start at the beginning of your life. What led you to get to this point? Like, how do you become a professional BMX person? And what's that story?
What's that story?
Yeah.
So
Because you're a Great Falls kid, aren't you?
yes, I was born here.
Okay.
I was born up at the Deaconess Hospital.
Oh, yeah.
I was born at 4/23, September 12th or something like that.
AM or PM?
AM.
You're not sure about the date, or you're not sure about the time?
No time. I think it's
Okay.
like 4/23. I had to recently. So I was adopted.
Okay.
And I
It
got
is amazing to me, honestly, how many people we've had on the
We have
podcast
had
that
quite a
have
few
been,
that have been adopted.
adopted.
Well, usually what ends up happening is you get a second life. You get a second chance at life when you're adopted. So I'm Native American, and as a Native American, it's super hard. There's a lot of trials and tribulations that you have to go through. I was in and out of foster homes and group homes from 0 to 7. I didn't learn how to speak or eat till I was 7. I was adopted eventually by my grandparents. So my mom is my sister. I don't call my mom. I call her Maria. I'm the youngest of 17 kids.
That's a lot of kids.
And so when you're the youngest, your goal is to be noticed. So naturally, I was an introvert. But when I went to school, people gravitated to me. So I figured out, like, all right, if I just do an extrovert and do whatever they want, though, they're like putty in my hands. Because my dad's always like, well, you were born with a gift, which is a silver tongue. I can just talk my way into things. Now, I can use that talking for negative, or I could use it for positive. Or I could use it to get what I want or get myself out of things. And when you come from, like, I was born... I grew up 6 blocks away from where we are now.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I used to go and steal inner tube tires from Great Fall, right across the street over here, so we could come over here at the Flag Hill
And do sledding.
No, and run kids over. All I wanted to do was run you over. I didn't care about that. Like my whole life growing up was mischievous.
Yeah.
Yeah, mischievous, whatever. All I wanted to do was just have the greatest time, and I couldn't stop that. And I think that's like BMX came into my life because I met certain people.
At what age?
I got my first sponsorship and like hookup at 11 years old.
Okay.
I'm 43 now. So I started like skateboarding and doing what everyone does. And I found skateboarding like easier came to me. I wasn't good at it, but I could do things and catch up quicker.
Okay.
And BMX was a lot harder for me.
Now, for people in the room who may not be real smart,
You're talking about me. That's fine.
I'm
I
talking
get
about
it.
myself.
I get it.
Is there a difference between BMX racing and BMX
Yes.
trick?
Yes, 100%.
That's a good
What
question.
are the words to use between the two things?
Freestyle BMX is what I do.
Okay.
BMX racing is kind of like a political school thing where if you're richer, you can achieve more because you can afford it and be able to. It's based on a point system. It's like hockey.
Okay.
The richer you are, the more you can travel, the more you get
more you
in
have a chance
game
to
wins
get
and
points.
stuff. BMX, since we have weather, like right now,
Yeah,
it's
it is
snowing
snowing
like rat
outside
shit
of
out
our
there.
office
Holy
right
crap!
now.
It is snowing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did you
get
not
your
see
stuff
that? Yeah.
together. Jeez.
It was raining.
And now the
Jeez.
ground is white, and
Yeah, it's a
It
Merry
is full on.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, so
Welcome
this
to
is
second
the
winter.
great thing about Great Falls. So
That's
when you
right.
guys come here and you come to visit, I want you guys to know what Great Falls is. It's called
right.
Tourette's. We have,
true.
we could have snow, wind, hurricane, rainbows, and then guess what? Earthquakes.
in one day.
Earthquakes in one
Yeah.
day.
I survived an earthquake.
So did
It was
I was
her
going to
first-
the
It was her
bathroom.
first one. You were going to the bathroom.
I was going to the bathroom when
Number
the
one or
earthquake
number
happened.
two?
Number 2, and I thought I
Yeah.
destroyed it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
That
with
does
your
make a
history, it's
difference.
got to be
Yeah.
questioned like,
Right.
oh,
What's
I don't know
happening?
what I've done now, but
so I grew up 6 blocks from here over by Carter Park. So you would say I'm a South Sider. Basically, you would loop me in with Longfellow and Parkdale.
Okay.
You know, it's a small community of Native Americans and poor white people.
okay.
But we all coexisted and grew up together. And if I could take a magnifying glass and look at the people that I grew up with, you could kind of label it like looking at a person and be like, all right, this guy's going to go here. This guy's going to do this. This guy's going to be here. Like the success rate was literally like the Bertolli syndrome, where it'd be 0.007%. So you literally had to live it and then figure it out right away. Like, okay, am I going to go down the same route that everybody grew up here, where I talked about that effect that Great Falls does have? When you live in a small community, people fall for this black hole identity where, oh, well, it's too expensive over there, or it's that. It's not. You're just confined.
Limiting yourself before
Right. And,
someone else can do it
and
for you.
the hardest part is we have a lot of hardworking
Blue collar.
entrepreneur, blue collar farmers, and then like my parents, my father came from Durango, Mexico, and my mother came from Czechoslovakia. And so you have people that were just blessed and happy to be a Montanan, and they weren't looking at life like, oh, I could go on an adventure. My parents were like, well, the more kids we have, the easier it'll be for us to survive because the kids can take care of themselves. I can work and we can grow and make things. And it's really amazing when you live on the South Side, and everybody that has ever been from, you know, if we go to, for example, let's say we go to California and you grew up in Compton, you're going to know where the bad places are and where the rich places are. So, you know, that demographic of what we have here in Great Falls, we have the South Side, we have the North Side, we have the West Side, and we have, which at one time used to be the rich side, which was Fox Farm. And then we have Prospect Heights that's over here. That was considered rich too, right?
Yeah.
And you had this, we just lived in this little tiny world. And my parents grew up in a garage that was by Falls Tires over by the rescue mission, a little
Okay.
tiny garage. They had 3 kids inside there. Then they moved a block away ended up getting a house where the milk, that Marigold is.
Mm-hmm.
Marigold came in, bought the house where they were, and then they went across the street.
Mm.
And then Clint Eastwood came to town and did
Thunderbolt and Lightfoot.
Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. And my father had a 20-foot tall cowboy statue. And they wanted to put it in the movie, so they paid him X amount of money, and then he used that money to move from that house to buy the house that we had. We had a little blue house on the corner. So a lot of people that grew up here in Great Falls, Montana, don't call it Carter Park. You know that park that's down there? They call it Lopez Park because we've been there forever, and my mom and dad used to take care of that park.
Can you tell us why your dad had a giant cowboy
this is
statue?
a great question.
My dad used to just acquire random stuff. So he was a lifelong sledding construction worker.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the old heads know. If my dad was alive right now, he'd be like, I think it's like 106. And my mom would be like 94, 95, something like that. And so having a blue-collared father that came from a different country looked at Montana as like,
this was his
this
adventure.
was his paradise. This is where it was. And the community in Great Falls is so tight knit, is once you earn your little part of this cornerstone, you're accepted. It's when you come in and you try to be like, oh, well, California's better this way, or New York City, or Chicago, or Houston, Texas. It's just like, hey, look, dude, we love Montana. Like, I've never veered from it. I've always just, everywhere I've been, I'm just like, Montana. You got to come here. The air is so, it's the only place that you can come where you can taste the air. You can taste it.
Yeah.
You taste that right now? That's the air.
Drink it up.
And so I've had a lot of misfortune. My brother was murdered at a young age. Then I had a nephew a few months later murdered. Then my other nephew was found dead, and then my dad died, all within a couple years. And during that time, from 12 to 16, I experimented with drugs. And when my brother was killed, that's where I decided, like, okay, I got to make the next decision. My next decision is, what am I good at? I'm good at talking, but where's that going to get me?
Maybe a talk show?
A lot of options.
Yeah, we're in Great Falls. Okay, so I was like, I'm really good at riding bikes. So if anybody listening to this, or if you grew up in Great Falls, I've always that dude in the streets riding my bike. If we went to house parties, everyone would be partying, drinking, smoking, having fun, listening to music. I was out in the front riding my bike.
Yeah.
Everyone was macking on chicks or macking on dudes. I was macking on my bike.
Yeah.
And like, I just knew like the only way to make it was on my bike. And this is what I've always said when I do speeches with kids at schools and stuff. I always say, hey, look, sometimes your parents are going to say things that you don't like. And for example, my dad used to say, hey, you need to grow up, you little son of a bitch, and quit riding that bike. I took that as a mantra of being like, okay, it's negative to me, but my dad's doing it because he knows I can't make a living from it. He's trying to teach me what I need to do, but I took it as a threat. So I was like, you know what? All I'm going to do is prove you wrong. One day, dude, I'm going to be the next biggest thing. I'm going to be paid. And it took years, and I had my own signature bike, signature parts, clothing, and I was making a lot of money. Like I a lot, like 6 figures sometimes. So
Did you have, forgive me, I know nothing about this. I grew up in a town of 5.
yeah.
Were there BMX pros you looked up to? I mean, because social media wouldn't have been a thing then.
No. So what we have here is a lot of dudes that grew up that loved it. So I fell in love with BMX because of Pat Murphy. Pat Murphy works over at the Club Cigar.
Okay.
He's the bartender. He's like the godfather of alternative, anything for skateboarding, surfing, roller rinking, soap shoe. It doesn't matter what it is. He was always been the godfather. And that introduced me to There was an older gentleman named Jeff Jones, Brett Course, Dirty Dwayne.
All Great Falls kids?
These
all
are
Montana
all Great
kids?
Falls guys. And they all loved BMX, but it was my generation. So it was me and another kid. Well, the first generation of BMX would be Scott Hopper and Tight Pants Tony. I don't know Tony's last name, but they called him Tight Pants.
Love it.
And then there was some dudes like Fish Stump and DJ Deschner that loved it. And I would see them ride, and I was like, I'm just going to beat them. That was my goal. I wanted to beat them. But Pat Murphy, Kurt Pogany, Dan Suela, these guys introduced us to BMX magazines and videos. And me and my friend Eddie Cleveland, out of Great Falls, became, like professional BMXers. Eddie Cleveland got so big that every kid that rode a bike dressed, talked, and looked and rode their bike like him. And then, he would be my protege. Like I taught him a lot of tricks, but he would be the biggest from Great Falls, but he won't claim Great Falls.
Oh.
Because he wasn't born here. He just grew up here.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that thing, right?
Yeah.
Where I take more of the pride.
Yep.
Where I'm more like, no, I'm a Montanian. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. So me and Eddie Cleveland, like Eddie Cleveland had a finger bike. You could go to Walmart and buy it.
Huh.
I didn't reach that level, but within the industry, my name is well known by everybody that's in there.
Yeah.
And I hate saying it that way because I just felt non-humbling. But
the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so going back to why I wanted to make it out, when you go through heartache and pain with, Great Falls has a crazy history with trends. And I would say mid 90s to early 2000s, it was don't meth around. We had a lot of the biggest drug dealers in the world were coming here and selling stuff. And it was in my neighborhood, and it was really chaotic for me and losing a lot of my friends. And like I was telling you, like you have this magnifying glass, and I can, I'm looking at ants right now, and I have a magnifying glass, and I'm looking at these people, and I can just see okay, this was going to happen to him. This is, and it just happens like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes in order for a person to make something of themselves, something terrible has to happen.
Yeah.
And they have to have some
usually-
anguish,
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
and, I got done riding my bike and we're in my buddy's Bronco, and I'm driving past his house, and I see all these cops and ambulances, and I see this person getting pulled out in a gurney, and I'm angry, and I'm just like, good, that Indian gets that, whatever, hell with him. And I get home, and there's all these cops and everything, and I go to find out who was on the gurney was my little brother,
Ooh.
who was murdered at the time, right? And then we fast forward a few months later, and I'm driving to my girlfriend's house, and I take a look to the right in the alley, and I see all these cops and somebody getting put on a gurney. And then I get home later, and I find out it's my nephew. So I've looked at life like, okay, I could be the person driving past somebody that's going to their final resting place. And the hardest part for me is these patterns have happened so many times in my life. So I don't take life for granted. I just look at it like, okay, today's a new day. I'm going to take full advantage of it. And even if it's against the status quo, which is, oh, well, you got to do this and you got to set up, guess what?
No.
You know what I mean? Something happens all the time. This whole where you live your life and it's like, oh, save this nest egg. I remember we had this old man named OJ on my corner down by Carter Park. Old man OJ never spent a dime. Never, right? He ends up passing away. He sells his house. The person that bought his house went into his basement. He had 30 buckets full of silver $1 bills
Wow.
in
my
a bucket.
gosh.
So they just scored a house
Yeah.
full
Plus
of
all this money.
Yeah.
because he squandered it and he
Yeah.
never did it. And that comes from, that's the hardest part, is you got to know that your parents are put on this earth and they live the path that they have and they only know the path that they know. So they're going to give you this type of guidance. if you choose to live an alternative life, like being a BMXer or a skateboarder or a scooterer, or you want to be a DJ, or you want to do a podcast or whatever, you're going to be outside a norm that they don't understand. So you have to take chances that don't make sense to them. So you're going to hear them say, well, I think this is a bad choice and this is why, right?
Because they don't know.
They don't know any better. It's the same thing as when you grow up and you're taught to, respect your elders. Okay, well, why would I respect half the people that are stupid? So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing. So it comes down to, all right, I'll respect you if you respect me. You got to love your parents and listen to them, but their guidance can only go so far. So when it came to my bike and my dad said, grow up, you son of a bitch. It's time to be a man. I was like, I don't want to be a man.
Yeah.
I want to have fun. And also, if I come from 17 kids, I don't need to have kids.
Yeah.
So
My family's big enough.
Yeah, I have over 200 nephews and nieces. My oldest brother has 13 kids.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, so like
That's
we
a lot
own
of
kids.
kids.
There's no family inside this town that's bigger than us. There's one girl from my high school that went with me, and she's at 14 kids right now. And I just saw her the other week. I was like, yo, do me a favor. Beat us. All you got to do is have
challenge you.
4 more kids, and you could be the world record of Great Falls.
Gosh.
Now, I don't know if we're the record of it, but I'm pretty sure. I haven't met anybody that has more. And
No, that's a lot.
my dad had a previous marriage, and he had 9 kids with them. So all total, there's 20. What is that? 26 kids.
Do you guys get together? Like, is Easter going to be a blast and you're just a ton of people together? Or is everybody so scattered and busy? And
No, when you live from a big family, so how many kids do you have in your family?
Me and my brother.
Okay. What do you got?
Only child.
Yeah, spoiled. That's why you have such nice
and
teeth.
married to an only child.
Yeah, okay.
And we're not
So-
having kids, so it's
Right.
very
So,
small.
yes. Your world is
Yeah.
secular. So when you have a big enough family, you can pick and choose who you like.
Oh.
And most of the time, there's a lot of, you're all fighting for attention and you're all trying to find your own piece of this world. And the attention you want is from 2 parents that have to give love to 17 kids. And it's hard for them because, number one, they got to nurture you. They got to take care of you. They got to put food on the table. And my parents both worked 2 jobs. My parents were never on welfare. My parents were never on any assistance.
Wow.
They did everything on their own.
Wow.
Now, they did have problems like every other parent does.
Sure.
We were scolded. We were beaten. When I mean beaten, got the ass whooping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we grew up the old school way. But when your family is so big, literally, I can outcast like 10 of them, and I still have 6 more to choose from. So when you talk about having people come together, I've had a lot of death in my family.
Yeah.
During Corona, we lost like 5.
Man.
You know what I mean? And I believe we have one of my sisters passed away, and then I believe it's 4 brothers that passed away. And it's like really hard when you have a lot of death in your family. Like I had 3 psychiatrists and therapists that I had to deal with to just try to find the answer.
Yeah.
And usually when you're in a big family and you deal with death, the last thing you think of is other people's feelings. You're more stuck to yourself. So for years, I thought with all this death and bad stuff, I was the only person experiencing it. And when my therapist said, do you realize you're not the only person? It went like this. And I completely changed the way I look at things. And since 11, I've always had that fear of death. I don't know what's going to happen. So I guess that's what's made BMX so easy for me, like breaking bones and doing that, because I'm not afraid to die, but I'm afraid of death, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine seeing an ambulance on the road at some point becomes something to you because you've experienced that so much where you're like, oh, there's an ambulance, and it turns out it's somebody from your family.
Right. And then that way, when you look at it that way, that's what's taught me not to judge so much. So my friend Tony Sangri is running down at the on 9th, not 9th Street, sorry, Central. We have, what is that, Indian
Family Health Center.
Yeah, he does a prayer group and we do some smudging, and we all get together and we have a conversation. I haven't done drugs in 9,548 days, but I attend, his seminar and stuff and go there and talk to people. And I always talk about comparing. I think you grow up in life and your parents are like, oh, don't compare yourself. Yes. Sometimes it's good and healthy to compare.
Yeah, done in the right frame of mind.
Yes, exactly. But also, even with negative things, you could compare. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, this person has gray hair. I don't have gray hair. That's negative to them, but to you, you're happy that you don't have that. It's okay to do that. It's when you rub it in their face. So coming back from the East Coast and realizing like, hey, I was in this big, huge world and I was just an ant. I was nobody on the East Coast. In my field of BMX, I was, but in the real world, who gives a shit?
Well, the population, just the sheer population
There's
difference.
10 million people in one
One
place.
small
Yeah.
area.
10 million. Do you know what it's like with 10 million people?
No clue.
Yeah. So
Not on a
This is-
day-to-day basis. Like you can
Yeah.
go, and I think you can go and experience that like on a trip, but I don't think people who live here, like me, living in a town of 60,000 people, you go to New York or down in Texas and you're in a large concentration of people. But when you're not doing it day to day for a long extended period of time, I don't think anybody has a comprehension of what that's like.
right. And so that's
And vice versa.
right. So that's where you got to give these people an understanding. Okay. So New York City just did a congestion tax. Do you guys know what that is?
I heard it like
I
for
heard it.
I was telling you, remember?
uh,
This is where you're going to
No.
hear it from. No.
I don't remember, but I thought like a premium tax on certain times when like people are in a certain area for taxis.
No.
Okay.
No.
Never mind then.
So congestion taxes, they don't want you driving cars anymore. So if you drive a car, it's $12.50 to drive every single time. That's what I was telling you.
Yeah, you were
Right?
telling me about
Okay,
this.
so the George Washington Bridge is $20. It's $12.50 to drive. The Brooklyn Bridge, it's like 14 to 15. Verrazano Bridge, 14 to 15.
Wow.
Cuomo Bridge, $7.50. Every single thing that you do, you're paying. And parking, you know how people here
Complain about
pay for parking and they pay 75 cents for an
Right.
hour. It's $35 for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so I try to give people comparisons like that to be like, hey, look, what you have here this is a miracle. This place is the greatest place in the world. I tell every single person when I do speeches with kids, I say, hey, look, come to Montana.
Yeah.
All the clothes that are outdated are brand new where we are.
So true.
All
We're
the
behind with
music
that. Yeah.
is 8 months behind.
Yeah.
We don't have congestion taxes. We don't have tolls. We don't pay sales taxes. We don't have ideologies that control everything. There's no racism here. Everybody loves everybody. The one complaint that you could have is, oh, well, this person that's military, the jetter, is driving erratic. Well, you have to understand he's from Chicago.
Right.
So he's used
That's
to that.
how you have to survive.
Right. So I think the hardest part for me is I've left. I come back. I get irritated when I hear somebody say, oh, well, I got to drive from Fox Farm all the way to Walmart and it takes 7 hours.
Yep.
So this was kind of the premise of the conversation
So
we were
true.
having when
Okay.
when Ricky showed up into
Yeah.
our conversation. He's like, "What is your issue with
Oh, were you complaining about
Well,
driving
we
to
were
Walmart?
no, we were being like such old people
Okay.
of like this hurts and this takes so long."
Well, Robert
and-
did just strain his neck putting a T-shirt on.
Yeah, it was girls.
Okay.
So then Ricky started telling us, I'm like, oh yeah, you got to remember perspective.
Absolutely.
Right. And you don't know that. And that's
Yeah.
where the comparing comes. And life is all about experiences. Like I could remember being on the A train on the subway. I have 6 kids with me. 3 of them are from Manchester, UK, and one of them's from Colombia, and then 2 are American. The UK kids and the Colombians are not like They're not going to go out of their way to flirt with girls. Anyway, there was a girl that all these boys were oogling over, right? Oogling, did you hear that word, folks?
Yeah.
Oogling.
I like that. I was like, I haven't heard that in a while.
Term.
I
Right.
like it.
So there was a young girl that was catching their attraction, and they were all like oogling.
Ooh.
And one of the young American boys is like, man, what do I do? And I said, all right, I'm going to teach you right now. Here's what you do. I said, New York is not used to this. I said, hey, miss, excuse me. She's like, me?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you. I said, hey, hypothetically, let's just pretend, but this is kind of for real. I said, these young boys over here have a crush on you. What do we got to do to just get a smile? And she smiles, of course. And she goes, well, what do you mean? I said, look, these kids only know how to socialize through social media. I said, I'm going to teach them how to socialize in real life and watch how they get a phone number. And she goes, so what do you want me to do? Give you your phone number? I was like, no, I want you to entertain the idea that each one of these kids is going to try to get his phone number from you, your phone number, and they have to do it in their own way. And then the kids are like, well, I don't know how to do that. I said, well, just pretend that you're typing on your fingers.
Yeah.
And the girl's like, well, how about I just give you my phone number? And then I said, look, how strange is this? She goes, well, we live in New York City. They don't do that. We don't do this. There's no idle conversations.
Yeah.
In Montana, the best thing about Montanans, eye contact. Look at all of us.
Yeah.
Eye contact. And it's involving. Like we bring you into the conversation. They don't do that. They look everywhere else and they don't like small talk.
Yeah.
Small talk doesn't exist. And as a Montanan, when you go somewhere else, you don't
It's
realize.
weird not to small talk.
Yes. And you don't realize that we also people stare. That's the dumbest thing a Montanan does. They're just like, oh, look at that human.
Yeah.
And when you
Look
live
at all
in
that herd of people.
yeah, and when you live in New York. So anyway, at the end of the day, the girl's
You
like,
don't
well,
do
let's just
that.
knock it off. I'll give you my phone number and they can all text me. And I was trying to teach the kids, like, look, we live in a world where all of you guys are concerned with what people think. In
Yeah.
New York City, you never see the same person twice. In Great Falls, 32 times in one day.
Yeah.
You're going to go to Walmart, Bunker Burger,
Yeah.
Courthouse,
They're
the
gonna be there, all
library.
those
They're
same
all going to be
places.
there.
Yeah.
You never see the same person twice. You could be there 10 years, every single day. You will not see the same person twice unless you work together.
Yeah.
So I always told these kids, I was like, look, in life, take a chance.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you say. Even if you offend somebody, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you're just part of their adventure. And if they want to suck it in, they'll suck it in. And so that mantra is how I've lived my life. So I'm like, look, if I think something, it comes out. You know why? Who gives a shit? At the end of the day, what's our relationship? Right now, we're sitting here, we're having a podcast.
Yeah.
Right? She's going to cut me off when she's bored. Do I
Right.
give a shit? I'll keep talking. Once you shut this off, I'll keep going. But the thing is, in life, take advantage of the moment. And a lot of people don't do that. What they end up doing is they see somebody. Say you see a purse and you really like it, right? And instead of buying that purse, you go home and you're like, oh man, I really like that purse.
Should've
It
bought
would have
that
matched
purse.
my shoes, right?
Yeah.
And then guess what happens?
Somebody else.
You
buys
go to the bar, you get a little bit of tipsy, and you spend $350. Guess what? That purse only cost $100.
it. Right.
And now you're like, oh shit. Well, if I go buy it, I'm going to be $450 in a hole. Where
Right.
you should have just bought it.
Right.
Spontaneous doing this. This is where I always tell people, look, I think the most money I've ever had in a bank account was like almost 100,000,
Mhm.
and then I've had negative 100,000. Right? Money comes and goes.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like everybody's so obsessed with the idea of like, well, what if this happens? Well, guess what? That waiting for what would have happened could have happened.
Yeah.
Something could have happened in that time. So when you say, hey, Ricky, what made you do BMX and what have you sacrificed? I've sacrificed moments always. I remember graduating high school and I'd been traveling all around California, Spokane, Washington, Idaho, Utah, Las Vegas. I mainly stayed west at this time. And I was like, all right, what I want to do is just have enough money so I could live in my car and travel.
Mm.
So what I did is I got a job on the base. the boss came up to me and goes, man, kid, you're a go-getter. I have an idea for you. He's like, come here. So we go in the closet. He shuts the door. Very awkward situation.
boy.
Oh, no.
It's just
I
me
mean,
and
that's
him in a
normal,
closet like
Right?
this,
You're
right?
like, what is
And he
this
goes,
about?
look, if you work 3 months straight, I'll make you a supervisor. And the pay grade is like $10,000 more. What do you think? And I was like, oh, perfect timing. Right?
I'm looking for.
All I wanted to
I just
do
want to live in my car.
was make
Yeah.
money and live in my car.
Mhm.
So I took advantage of that, worked 3 months straight. I made X amount of money. I hopped in my car. I went to California and I lasted 2 weeks. Right? And then I came back home,
Yeah.
tail between my legs. Everybody said, see, you stupid loser. You ain't going to make shit. You ain't going to do nothing. But I took all of that negative. Every time you hear negative and you hear people telling you you're a loser or you're dumb or you're ugly or whatever not, that's motivation. That means they wasted their time because they're thinking about you to project that on you. So you need to realize you're doing so good that they're so infatuated with the idea they got to tell you that. So take that as power. And I've always done that with everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. Everyone that meets me is always like, "Oh, Ricky, you're so blessed. You've gotten this, you've gotten that." I'm like, "Yes, but I've had very crazy things happen to me, and it's because I've always just chose to be like, all right, well, you get life once.
Yeah.
Do I want to be like everybody else and be
No.
like, oh, well, this one time I had this chance, but I didn't do it?
Yeah.
Like, here's the stupid.
That's not a great story.
No.
Here's a stupid one for you. I have a girlfriend at a time. She's like, hey, I'm going to go to South Carolina. I want to work on a cruise ship. I was like, all right, I'll go with you. So we go to this interview. 200 people. They're only going to hire 10.
Wow.
Oh,
10, right? You have 2 minutes to oogle them. You have 2 minutes to ooh and ah them, right? I don't even want to be there. So the girlfriend at the time goes up. She leaves because she goes to it's like girl on girl, guy on guy, which doesn't work. It's easier if you go the other route, right? So I now have to be more flamboyant to win the guy over. Anyway, so she goes, I go, and then the dude's like, so why do you want to do this? I was like, I'm going to be honest with you. This shit's stupid. I don't want to do it. He goes, all right, you're hired. They're only hiring
the attitude.
10 people.
Yeah.
He goes, do you know how to be a waiter? I was like, I know how to wait. He's like, well, like waiting? I was like, yeah, like waiting. You wait for a bus. I know how to do that. He's like, all right, well, you love to talk, so I'm going to hire you.
we're gonna be
Right?
good.
So the girl at the time, she'd been practicing, wanting this. She didn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got it.
No.
So
How
I
mad
said,
was she?
Oh, she hated me. So I said, look, I'll get you this job. She goes, how you gonna do that? I said, watch this shit. So I go back over there. I go, hey, you guys made a mistake. They go, what? I go, you guys didn't hire my girlfriend. And they're like, well, we wanted you. I said, well, you don't get me unless she comes. And they're like, is that the ultimatum? I said, well,
I don't
does
care.
it matter? I was like, I told you from the beginning, I don't give a shit about this job.
Yeah.
So now you have to bring everybody back. They're like, oh, all right, fine. We'll hire her. So they guaranteed us $10 an hour, no taxes, tips. You work 6 months straight, no days off.
Ooh.
You ready for this? We get to the ship. I look Caucasian, but I'm Native American. Okay? She's Scandinavian or something, so she's white as shit. Anyway, we get there, they put us in line, and they just go like this. It literally, this is the way it goes. It's Filipino, 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 Jamaican, 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 2 white people. Well, 1 Native American, 1
Right.
white. And they all turn and look at us, and they go, well, now it's your guys' turn to see what it's like to be a third worlder. Sir, you will be scrubbing toilets, and ma'am, you will be washing dishes. So for 6 months straight, 18 hours a day, no days off, I scrubbed toilet bowls. Now, they took my pay and cut it down to $5. And no tips.
No tips, because who's tipping you for that?
And when you're on the ship, they will maroon you if you don't do your job. So I'm in the middle of the ocean on, what do you call it when you're not in the United States and you're in the ocean?
International
waters. They will maroon you on purpose. And so I did 6 months, no days off, whatever, no days off, 18-hour days scrubbing toilets. And when I mean scrubbing toilets, the cruise ship doesn't mess around. They come around with a black light and they
Oh.
shine the black light looking for pee stains. And so if you don't have that, you re-clean the whole thing. Now, I'm stupid. I'm from Montana. I'm naive. I think my job is the toilet master. So I am scrubbing these stupid ass things better than anybody's ever seen a dude scrub a toilet. Like I'm the gangbanger of toilet cleaners. Anyway, so one night, 3 months, this is 3 months in. This is 90 days of everyday scrubbing toilets. And when I mean scrubbing toilets, there's some nasty people in this world. And by the way, females, if you don't know this, females have the worst toilets.
Yeah.
Because you hover. Anyway, I digress. Moving on. So one day, you carry a cart. And, you know, there's waves and it's all this nasty water coming up. Everyone's in a terrible mood. I remember being on the top floor. It's 3 a.m. I'm tired as shit. And I'm pushing this cart to go scrub the toilet up in the presidential area. And I look at these lawn chairs. At the very top where everyone sunbathes, they put these lawn chairs, right? And I look in there and I see something. And being from Montana, we notice things. Like if we look out the window, we're not just, oh, hey, sky, trees, leaves, grass. No, we're like, oh, look at that prairie dog right over there by that tree.
Right.
If you guys don't know what a prairie dog, that is a
gopher. They
anyway.
infest the hills here. Yes.
And then, you know, we notice things because our eye for detail is crazy here, right? Because we live in the country, we're always looking like, all right, what's going to mess us up or whatever, right? So I look in these lawn chairs and I see eyes. I'm like, what the hell is this? I take a look, I get closer, and all of a sudden a hand grabs me and goes, hey, this is my spot. Get your shit together, kid. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, don't you know the rules? I go, no. He goes, this is a game of hide and seek, dumbass. He goes, what you do is there's only one boss, supervisor for aft, the ship, and starboard, right? I think whatever. Yeah. Front and back, right?
Yeah.
There's 2 guys. One has front, one has back. He has, I think there's 100 of us. So 50 and 50 they have to control. You can't find all 50 on this ship. It's huge. It's 15 stories high. We're on the 15th story, and he looks at me and goes, wait, hold on. Has your dumb ass been working this whole... I was like, yeah. He's like, you stupid prick.
What?
He goes, we don't work here. He goes, what you do is you find a spot to hide, and you sleep. I was like, oh, my God. So as soon as I learned that,
oh, my gosh,
here comes my Parkdale skills. I was like, all right, all I got to do is figure out a way to stash myself. So what I ended up doing was telling the guy, I was like, hey, look, I noticed that every floor has a closet and they need towels. I was like, is there a possible way that like 3 hours of my shift, I could fold towels in the poor floor is where all us were. That's the 4th floor.
Yeah.
I would fold towels and then I would put them in the closet. And the guy's like, no one's ever asked that. Yeah, sure. So I get a cart. I start folding these towels. And what I did was I had all these keys to all the closets. And what I did was I built forts. So I put all the towels right up so it looked like it was completely filled.
Yeah.
And then behind that was an area for me to hide and sleep. Because all you wanted to do was sleep. You had no sleep. And so what ended up happening is I got this one dude, Curtis or something from Oregon. I said, hey, look, dude, I'm not going to be a jerk and make you work. I'm just going to teach you. This is the greatest game of hide and seek you've ever played in your life for the shittiest money ever. I was like, look, we're the only white people on here. He's like, but you're not white. I said, I look white.
I know. You're like, I know.
And I was like, also, the reason they're mad at us is they do 1 year. We do 6 months. Americans do 6 months on there. So I want to tell everybody when you go on these cruise ships, all of those people that you see that come to your door and greet you, they did absolutely no work. Because guess what? Every time when you guys were boarding, it would be us, Americans, that would grab the bags. You would have 6,000 bags that you had to deliver to all the rooms. I did all the work.
Yeah.
Guess who got the tips? Mr. White Gloved, Filipino, Jamaican. He got it all. And I did all the work. You know your hotel rooms? Mm-hmm. Guess who cleans those? Mm-hmm. I cleaned all those, but I didn't get any of the tips. Yeah. So going back on this, every experience I've had in life is just like, you can bleep it, the fuck it mentality, where I was just like, guess what? I'm going to take a chance. Did I want to go on this cruise? No. I just thought it would be great to go to South Carolina so I could see what it smells like.
Yeah.
And to this day, I can just remember that smell. That's the only thing that I remember, the whole thing. Stay in there, and they bought us a hotel room, things get there, and I con our way into getting this job. I don't care. And it's so funny. Everything I do in life, I lived in New York City and New Jersey for the last, I think it's like 17 years. I might be off a little bit, but let's just say 15 years, right? The whole time I was living there, every one of my friends had a bet. Oh, he'll be back in 2 weeks. He'll be back in 3 weeks. He'll be back in 2 months. Right? So I was like, oh, fuck you guys. You're going to lose that bet because I'm staying over there, right? And the whole time that I was living there, this is how Montanan I am. I knew I was coming back. I just knew it. So this brings me back about my back, why I came back. So go to that doctor. See this? I'm one of those spider web talkers,
You
full
get there.
circles.
I
Right.
knew you would.
So we get there. I have surgery. I wake up and there's a lawyer with my doctor.
Oh,
and they're like,
no.
hey, look, we have some things we have to discuss to you. Your insurance has been dropped. So I lost my Native American health insurance. And my other insurance wouldn't cover it. So I had to sign a piece of paper. He goes, look, normally you'd be staying here 7 days, but we can only keep you for 3 days. We need you right now to get up and walk a mile. Right when
What?
you break your back, you have to get up and walk.
Mm.
And let me tell you, I was skipping.
Yeah.
That's how great that back surgery was, right? So the worst part of this, all the PT, I did 200 sessions. They dropped all of that. They dropped the hospital stay, all the doctor visits, everything. So the 2 years that I planned for all this, they dropped it all.
Oof.
Right? So they kicked me out in 3 days. They dropped my health insurance. I could no longer get PT. I owed all this back. It was in the same hospital where Luigi, do you guys remember this story? Where that guy went and had back surgery and then he found the CEO?
Yeah, Luigi Mangione.
Yes.
Oh.
I had the same procedure, same thing done. Same procedure,
Yeah.
same place, same thing happened to me, except for I didn't go crazy.
You're right.
Right. So,
But the insurance, yeah.
yeah. So,
Wow.
and the hardest part is, I just want to give people an idea of when you become a sovereign Indian. I believe that's the right word. When you get adopted, it's really hard to go back to what you were before you. It's almost like you got a better chance, and so you're penalized for that chance. So I'm a Assiniboine Chippewa Cree.
Okay.
Right? I have my Indian census. I have my BQ. I have all of this. But getting enrolled in something is very tough once you're adopted. And my dad was adopted. So all the paperwork I have is from my grandfather, and he was in Turtle Mountain, which, by the way, if you guys don't know, Turtle Mountain and Little Shell split. One of the tribal leaders left from there, went to Hill 57. So, now we have Little Shell and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
I tried to get in there, but they did the rule. It's like 22 1/3 because I'm adopted. And I understand. And this is the part that, like, I'm so proud to be Native, but I'm so angry at the same time because I
Of
don't.
the different rules.
Yeah, because of all these rules that we have to put up with. And I don't blame. See, that's the thing that I want to teach kids. This colonization, this stupid idea of woe is me, that shouldn't be in your vocabulary. Because at the end of the day, you have a phone. You wouldn't have a phone back then, bro, if it wasn't for them. You wouldn't have medicine. You wouldn't have contacts. You wouldn't have clothes. So you need to understand that, like, terrible things have happened. They've happened to your ancestors. You need to not forget that. You need to understand that it's a part of your lineage and your history. But you also can't hold that grudge going forward, because if you do that, you stick yourself. So the hardest part about being a white Native is I have an identity crisis. And so when I came back here to Great Falls, I was like, you know what? With my popularity and, when you go online and you see things and Google me and you have all that, I'm proud of that. But I'm more proud to try to work in the community and get the younger kids to know, like, hey, look, if I can make it, dude, you can make it. You just have to be willing to open your mouth and take a chance and go on that cruise ship. Instead of walking in that door and going to that house party, say hell with that. That's boring. take every chance that you can. I mean, look where it leads me. These girls were sitting up at the bar talking.
Yeah.
And then I was like, grow the hell up. You know what I mean? And then
for
now
you.
we go
Tell her.
full circle and we lead and we come to a podcast.
Yeah.
And I know that you guys said, hey, this whole thing is about, we have Montana and coming together. Well, Montana has a lot of people in pockets that are a lot different, that have open ears. They're just not hearing the right voice for that ear. And that's the one thing is in this community, I got a buddy named Tim Green. He worked for MCU, Marvel Comics, doing pyrotechnics and stuff. He's a DJ. He's a great guy. He always gives back to the community. He last owner of Knickerbiker, going to open up a new bike shop. Like I told you about Tony Sangre, he's doing things for the community and stuff. And all of these people have had bad things happen to them or did bad things, right?
Yeah.
And so what I want the youth and anybody that's from other places to realize is Great Falls is a great place to get a second chance. Everybody here is willing as long as you put forth the effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we are kind of like, there needs to be more talk about the black hole effect that Great Falls does have. And I think that's just ignorance on the idea that were taught from parents that weren't given the opportunity and chance, but you have it. I like the idea that our airport is convenient, it's cheap, TSA takes 2 seconds,
Right.
the TSA there is super nice, the attendants are nice, and you can get on a flight and go straight from here to Vegas or straight to Arizona. LaGuardia, you're not doing that. It takes 6 hours. Here, you could literally go to Town Pump, get a sandwich, go up there, and you could be in Las Vegas in 2 hours.
Airport.
Yeah.
And then I think another thing that people don't talk about enough, there is so many people that shore fish here. Like, I'm bringing up, like, a lot of the locals here love fishing here. And like, they're all just blue-collar guys that I grew up with, and I've noticed all of them are fishermen. But the shitty part we have here now is, somebody put walleye and pike in there now, so most the trout are not there as much as before because we have predatory fish. And that's one thing that I noticed coming back from New York to coming here. I used to be able to go down to Mitchell Pool, where those rapids are, and wade, walk out in the water, and you would catch the biggest German trout, brown trout, and then rainbow trout, a couple cutthroat.
Yeah.
Now, all you're getting is carp, walleye, and pike. And I don't know where that comes from. You know what I mean? And I know this topic just goes kind of a little bit crazy.
No,
this guy's a BMXer. Now he's talking about fly fishing and woolly buggers.
Why not?
Yeah.
You're not just one thing, Ricky.
That's right.
What?
You're not
You're
just
not
one.
just a BMX.
Oh
guy.
no! See, that's the artistry of being a bullshitter. You just have to have bits and pieces that connect.
Yeah.
And I guess that's how I built my life. You asked me, why are you a BMXer? Okay, I'm a BMXer because I wanted to escape the drugs and the alcohol and the drinking and the cigarettes and the smoking and all of the negativity that I saw around me, right? But then I yearned for those people that live that part.
Yeah.
Like, you get older, and the one thing that you start doing is reminiscing and being like, oh, man, do you remember Starway? You guys remember the penny
No.
candy? Do you guys
No.
Starway down there?
No.
We're in Great Falls.
Yeah, but I've only been here for 20 years.
I didn't grow up here either.
You didn't grow up? Oh, yeah. Hey, guess what, guys? I'm on a podcast about Montana, and these two people did. I'm joking with you. But so Starway is where the penny candy is, and, it was a great place. And then you had Hastings where the dollar store is, right? And then back in the day, all of us kids that thought it was cool would go to the Red Door, go to the Maverick, go to the Caboose, go to the, I'm naming all these
Old
40-year-old.
bars.
Yes. All these old bars, and we used to be able to sneak in through the alleyway. And they used to have these cigarette things where you would put quarters in and you would pull the lever and get them, right? And none of us smoked, but it was just cool to get it. Oh,
Yeah.
do you guys remember going to the store and your mom would give you notes to buy cigarettes?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
You do? Okay.
Yep.
So I remember doing that. And then we get chickadees. They were like long Butterfingers. That's the thing about Great Falls is everybody has this obsession with what Zandy's was.
Yeah.
When I
Right.
grew up,
Yep.
my real mom lived behind Zandy's.
Okay.
Yeah, and every winter someone would drive through our house because
Oh,
the driveway
gosh,
was there and it's down a hill.
Oh no.
We would drive into our house
Yeah.
every year. But everyone misses like Zandy's and
Mm-hmm.
Burger Master.
Do you think it's they miss that or they miss the
Youth.
nostalgia
The
or
time
the
frame.
feeling?
It's their youth.
Yeah.
So they miss what they can have all that. For instance, I'll just give you an example of bringing youth back. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Ready?
All right, we go out a night on the town, me and Tim Green, and I was like, Tim, I want to go ride something. He's like, okay. I was like, but we probably have to jump over a barbed wire fence to go look at this, which is obviously trespassing,
Yes.
which is obviously getting in trouble, and it's being mischievous. But I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I just want to go look at this one thing to ride our bikes on. And we went and did that, and we're out on the train tracks, and the train's coming. I'm like, dude, we should hooky bob this. And he's going to be turning 50, and I'm going to be turning 44.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, man. Live your life. Stop thinking because you grew up in Great Falls, Montana, it's small. You can't have an adventure. You can have an adventure so easy here. Great Falls has everything to offer. Like right now, this snow that we have isn't manufactured snow. When you
No.
get snow that's like in New York, it's gross. This snow is pure. It's not polluted, right? It just
Yeah.
Great Falls has everything you can want. Like this is the greatest place to grow up. It's a good place for kids to go to school. Yes, you're not making hundreds of thousands of dollars, but guess what? You can buy a house
You don't need it as much.
that 5 bedrooms,
Mhm.
6 bathrooms, 7 acres of land for nothing here.
Yeah.
Literally for a Twix candy bar and 75 cents.
And you've got people in our community doing things to expand the experience. Like we had Dakota on the podcast.
Dakota
with-
High Pine?
No.
Which one? Dakota High Pine is the bare knuckle boxer.
No,
No.
we're
Okay.
talking about the skate park jam guy.
Was a rodeo guy.
Oh, yeah, you're
Darren-
talking about Cody.
Okay.
Cody Dixon, Dakota Dixon.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah, okay.
there we go.
Yes.
And bringing those kind of opportunities to people to come and experience. And then you were a judge there, right?
Yeah.
Am I making that up?
No.
Okay.
And that was really hard for me.
I
Because having
wondered
a bad back and then judging pisses you off. And then,
because you're not participating and you're having to evaluate other people and
yeah, and then the hardest part that you have, we don't talk about the professional athlete part of this is when you leave for so many years, generations come and go. So I've been gone for a decade and a half, right? So if you take a decade and a half, most those skaters, scooters, and bike riders don't know who I am. And that's a hard thing to have when you're used to everyone knowing who you are.
Especially
And you
coming
come
back
back.
home.
So, yeah. So I
Yeah.
come back and the little kids are like, okay, I know something's about him, but I don't know him. And so it was really hard for me to program my brain to be like, all right, I'm used to, oh shit, it's Montana Ricky. Oh,
Yeah.
it's Ricky Lopez. Oh my God, it's that guy. And then I come here and I don't get that. And a part of me was like, oh, thank God. I can just finally chill. And then the other part was like, wait, hold on. And that's why, have you guys talked to Todd Foster?
not yet.
We
The
have not yet.
professional
no.
boxer. Me and Todd Foster were talking to Dakota High Pine. Dakota High Pine is the new younger professional boxer, bare knuckle boxer. And Todd is a professional from the 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
I'm mid 90s to kind of now. I'm on retirement. Todd's been retired. Me and him are both having the conversation about agents and opportunities and time and prime. So the hardest part in life is you're only gifted X amount of time to take advantage of things
Yeah.
until it's over. So me and him are having this conversation after Dakota won when they had the bare knuckle boxing
Okay.
at the
Yeah.
fairgrounds. We were both like, Todd's been retired for years. I'm close to that. So we're having this like, hey, dude, we got to make money. Like, you got to take advantage of it. You're young, you're sexy, you look good. Like, take a punch to the face. You can afford it.
Right.
But I was like, you don't get this much longer. And then it like became somber because I look at Todd and you can see the fire in his eyes. But he physically, it's not there no more, right? And I look and I go, well, shit, that's going to happen to me. Or how long can I play this out? And that's where, like, what benefit do you get in life? Okay, so we're doing a podcast right now. What do I get out of this? What do you get out of this? Right? What I get out of this is new ears. What you get out of this is all the people that follow me, and everybody gets to come to this. But we're networking. We get to know people. She just wrote in her notes, I'm pretty sure, Dakota High Pine. So
You never know when I'm going to run into him.
Yep.
yeah, well, I can
makes
see
it
that's
come
the
true.
thing is the more people that you know, we're such a tight knit family.
Yeah.
I have 6 or 7 people that would be great for this. We have a lot of bands. We have a lot of DJs. We have hip hop groups. Yes, hip hop. I know that people have a frown about that, but there's a lot that those guys in this community that do that because that speaks to the kids. And the hardest part is, how do we speak to kids? Because most of the people we're going to be speaking to are going to be 30 plus. They got gray hair. They got ear hair. Okay, we're trying to get pre-ear hair listeners.
That's a good way to select that age group.
Right.
I like
So
that.
how do we break that barrier? The way to break the barrier is to get alternative ears here.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys bring me on.
Yep.
All these people listening are like, holy shit, how do you go from scrubbing toilets to all of a sudden now you're giving us some speech about listening to different ears? I know enough people where I could be like, hey, you guys should bring these guys on. If you need somebody to co-host and ask questions,
Right.
always willing to do that. I have always been about networking and working
Yeah.
because you have things I need. I have things you need. And that's the one lesson that I try to teach kids too is like, hey, it's okay to use people the right way. Meaning, okay, hey, dude, you need a ride? That dude's got a car. Use him. But what can you give him in return for the car?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how you do with life experiences. Everybody has something that's completely different. Everybody has something that they can utilize or take advantage of. And when you come from a small town, that's probably one of the best things that we're good at is like, oh shit, I can make this out of this and do this out of that.
Yeah.
You know,
When will you get back on a bike?
I'm already on it.
Oh.
I have fear right now.
Oh.
So like, I've done so many big things here. Like, how do I? Well, I'll give you guys an example. I've done so many big handrails and big gaps and stuff that like I look at it and I kind of get depressed because I'm like, shit, I used to be able to do that. Shit, I used to be able to do that. And now I'm like, well, I can't.
Easing back into it?
No, there's no easing.
Oh.
You just got to go for it.
No, there's if you ease, you create this.
Are you going to be able to get back to the big?
I have to.
Okay.
Or it's either man up, or they call it sack up, or give up. And like there's like 20 videos I haven't seen in 15 years. I just saw. Anyway, I was going to show you some of the tricks and stuff that I've done here. And that's another thing is since I live in such a small town, I get in trouble a lot because it's like, well, there's a tire mark 20 feet up above this building. There's
Who
only
could it be?
one person. Like I could.
It's not Rebecca.
I could. Well, that's the thing is like. So if we right now, I'm kind of clicking through my phone. So like if we go to the college, that's the college handrail,
Oh, yeah.
right? The rail. It's a rail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cop show at my house. What were you doing at the rail? I don't know. Here's a photo. Right? And it's just like, I'm trying to think because these are like 20 years ago from Great Falls, Montana. And it's like video evidence that I have of things where I just get in trouble. But Great Falls is just so amazing. People just got to come here. They got to experience it. They got to realize like, man, how is it so affordable?
And uncrowded. Like not a lot of people are coming here. So you've got space. You've got the
Got room to
room.
breathe.
Do you know how hard it is to become a resident of Montana? I will tell you, if you go to Portland, Oregon, I can go and just sign up and get the benefits of being in Portland without even having an ID. Coming to Great Falls, the amount of points, you need more points here than you need in Washington, D.C. Like, what are we doing here? Like, to be a Montana resident, I needed almost 10 points. Everywhere else is like 6, 4, 5. So I love the idea that they just don't want newcomers. It has nothing to do with not wanting you. It's if you're coming here to take advantage of us, kiss our ass, right? So I like
But if
the
you want to
idea.
come here and be a part of us,
Yes, and you want to build and grow and not give us the California talk. Oh, well, over in Thousand Oaks when we're by Malibu, we have this. Okay, well, we got the Missouri River, all right? We got Broadway.
Right.
Okay, we got a little sandbar out there. We got a dock that can hold 2 people over there. The restrooms kind of stink. They're made of those old metal things.
Right.
The Tribune
there
used to
won't
be
be a
over
long
there.
line.
Now
There
there's-
won't be a long line.
No, not at all. No lines at all.
Right.
You're going to see a guy with a Rainier can. I don't know how he has Rainier because that stuff
Yeah.
doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
But you're going to see, like, that's what I love. Like, look, we don't even know one another. You met me once. Look where we are. How many podcaster guys are walking around like I am?
Right.
Have any of them? No. You know why?
Because you're Montana Ricky.
Yeah.
No, because I have ADHD and I don't know how to sit still to save my life.
Plus your back and your butt and all those
Yeah.
things that have happened.
So when she was texting me and stuff, she goes, "Hey, did you remember you got a podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, I remember." But I told her to remind me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I always ask her, I was like, "Did you do any homework on me?" Because usually when you do podcasts, they like go through and they'll do all this homework,
Yeah,
and then
that's
they'll
not our style.
oh, obviously, obviously, right? And then I have to do these points where I have to be like, all right, I'm Ricky Lopez, blah, 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 born in Great Falls, Montana. Oh, what's Montana like? Oh, shit. And then I say I'm Native American. Oh, what's a Native American? I have to go through all of
All
this.
that.
So you guys are officially freestylers too. So I'm a BMX freestyler. You guys are podcast freestylers.
We are.
Cool.
Because
I
you
like that.
literally
Yeah.
do not, most podcasts have like, she doesn't have notes.
Nope.
Most of them just have notes.
We
Yep.
just want to sit and have a conversation,
Yep,
which
that's
we
our whole
have
goal.
done successfully. And you have hit so many high points,
Yeah.
so many good things. I hope people really enjoy hearing your story on our podcast.
Yeah, this is where you cut me off.
Yep.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
I did look up one thing. I looked up the tibia fibula thing.
That's it.
That's the
Yeah,
extent.
but you didn't even look me. You didn't even know who I was. You're like, who's this dude? That's
Well,
what you did.
That's what, okay, but usually 99% of the time I'm the one booking all of the guests and she's going in blind. So we just switched
Yeah.
roles today.
And I just told her, well, I ran into this guy whose name's on my tablet and I invited him on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay.
Yeah, I think you guys got to network into the alternative scene is what I would like to call it.
Yeah.
And I got enough people that their voices would bring. We need the youth to give back to the people that are to come visit here too, because the kids need to understand. Like, yes, we're going to open the ears to the people that are the gray hairs, right? But
The
we got
ear hair.
hair,
That people.
right? To the
Yeah.
crow feet. Everyone's got the crow feet
Oh,
around their eyes.
those are good.
Uh-huh.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But we need to understand that they bring children, and the children
Yeah.
need to know that, hey,
These things are here.
holy shit, we got a skate park. Hey, the Newberry. Hey, Kiltergeist. Hey, the mall has one store.
Right.
Malls are so
A
out
reflection of
anyway.
America. Yeah.
No, you guys see, you're missing. That's the thing.
Some places.
Some
Yeah.
places. So New Jersey, we just got the new biggest mall in
Oh.
New Jersey. It's got Ferris wheel,
Nice.
three indoor
Pools.
wave machine things. It's
Ooh.
got skiing in there. Obviously, we're not supposed to be talking about this, but what I'm trying to say is
It
the state of
exists.
New Jersey and New York has bringing malls back. I'll be very honest with you.
I love
With an
that.
experience.
As a mauler rat,
Yeah.
mall
yeah.
rat,
Mm-hmm.
do you know what it was like being at the Holiday Village Mall? Aladdin's Castle,
Ooh.
Noah's Ark. Oh my God. Oh, dude, I remember purposely
miss
getting
malls.
locked in the mall on purpose. So I could be in the mall roaming around when we were like in 4th grade. Because my mom, I didn't have to be home until midnight. So
when
everybody
you
else
were in
had to be
4th
home.
grade.
It was I didn't even have to go home, to be honest with you. But I would come home. It was like midnight was where I'd usually get my ass whooped because I'm an habitual line stepper. I try to see how far I could go before I get in trouble.
Yeah.
So midnight
So you
was
know
like
where
the
the-
cusp.
Knew where the line
Yeah,
was.
so we used to go to this Holiday Village mall over here, follow around the dude with the big chain that had all the keys for the doors, and we're like, all right, I know one spot he isn't gonna lock. We'll hide ourselves in here, and then when the mall would close, we'd be inside there. Because those dudes, all they want to do is just sit in the security thing and smoke cigarettes.
Right.
So at that time, we would just be running around in the mall. They had Herbergers, and then they had the. So the mall now has a dumb elevator or escalator.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it used to have that running treadmill thing.
Oh.
And then it went down to where Bob's Pizza was. A&W was over here. This is for everybody from Great Falls. You don't understand this one. And then they had this build your own shirts. So remember back in the 70s, 80s, you used to be able to get like, yo, what's up? And you get it on your shirt. They had a store that was right there.
Yeah.
I remember
and
that
it had
in
Sam
Bozeman.
Goody, and then there was
Yes.
Sam Goody next to it, right? So like the mall, there used to be a movie theater in our mall.
There used to be a lot of things.
Well, that's
do
what
miss that.
happens in
Yeah.
life where there used to be
It's
a lot.
little bit of evolution.
Well, if we just we talk about California, if we get rid of the California owners and bring it back to Great
Local.
Falls, we will have a mall. So if someone actually from Montana took the time to build us a mall, we would have a mall. But I mean, I digress. That's just what happens.
Are you looking at maybe starting a mall?
Are you going to buy
I
it?
am looking at certain things of doing other things that
But
are
not a mall?
alternative. No, but a mall would be a good idea. I know another thing would be a good idea. Top golf, but we don't
Yes.
have enough people. That
Yeah.
would kill it here.
But you could do something
Similar.
like that on a different scale
Well, they've-
for here.
Right. They've tried back in the day, but the new school thing of that would work. I think a lot of it is people are afraid to take chances. So they
Absolutely.
they're just like, yo, let's get some rubber in here and
Right.
get tires. Oh, we need beds.
Yep.
Oh, but a casino.
Ricky.
Even though I work at a casino at the hangar, and I've always done casino, but it's funny how Great Falls is. You come back here and you're like, wow, Town Pump is murdering it. There's so many town pumps.
Well,
And then-
we're a distance from places. We need fuel.
And then what's so funny is we got that, and then we got a crap load of tire stores. What's up with these tire shops?
Hey,
They were willing
businesses-
to come and build here.
Yeah, business to
they're-
make money.
Mattress stores. That
Same
one
thing.
threw me
Yep.
off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
People take opportunities where they can make money. They're not going to set up shop where they don't. So
yeah, but it's an odd one.
It
You
is.
have to get a look at the odd. And then the other funny thing is when you move and you come back, your favorite thing to do is see what's here and what's
What's
not
not.
here
Yeah.
no more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then that's where that nostalgia plays.
yeah.
For
Like
sure.
I go and look at the house. I never thought in my whole entire life I would ever be like,
I wanna
hey, one
go
day I'm going to
see-
grow up and I'm going to go look at the house I grew up at.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I just get sad. And it's not sad that my parents are gone and we don't live there no more and I have all these memories. It's sad because the house isn't the house in me. Oh, you know what else ticks me off? So my dad for 40 years has been fighting with the city to fix the puddles that were in the middle of the road. Hey, Dad, if you're looking down on us, they finally fixed that road. It only took from 1985, since he's been bitching about it, to 2026 to fix that road. And guess what? No Lopez's live there anymore.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
But
Well,
now
it's fixed.
you as a guest can come and drive on a road with no puddles.
Well, now it's snow on it.
Well, not right now. Yeah.
Ricky, thanks for taking the chance and saying yes to a crazy woman who drank beer with you. Well, you didn't drink
I don't
beer.
drink beer.
I drank beer.
Yeah.
You were there. I have had a blast. I
Yeah.
hope everyone who's listening has had a blast. And until we see all of our guests' bright, happy, healthy, beautiful faces in our fine city, we hope you're creating amazing memories with your friends and family wherever you might be. See you soon.
We're No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town.